I went to see Weapons this weekend, and I feel the trailers and hype were more impressive than the actual movie. In this spoiler free ish review, I'm going to share my thoughts on the film and try my best not to spoil it for all of you. So let's talk about it. In 2022, Zach Krieger burst onto the horror scene with a tour de force movie called Barbarian. This film was refreshing and subversive, and Barbarian touched upon race, gender, social inequality, and the horrors of abuse. What made this film so fascinating for me was how Barbarian's tone was both creepy, horrifying, and at times hilarious. The film's shift in tone and perspective strengthened the horror elements because they were done so seamlessly. When I heard that Zach was working on a new film, a film so awesome that even Jordan Peele fired his management team, I was intrigued. Then reality hit me when I saw it. Weapons is not so much a horror movie, but a collection of genres wrapped up in a black comedy. Weapons tells a story surrounding a tragic event where a class of third grade school students simultaneously left their homes at 2:17 a.m. and were never seen again. The film starts off dark and creepy, and then the tone shifts to a missing person story, which I don't have a problem with. The film does something in the narrative, though, where we piece together a horrifying tale, which I do have a problem with. Through various character perspectives, this shift was not seamless but very abrupt, jarring, and hampered the pace and tone of the film. When I was watching the film, I could not focus on the story because certain perspectives were more interesting than others. Perspectives were even longer than others. The jump scares and scary elements lost their creep factor very early in the film, because the horror elements took on a very Sam Raimi wackiness. This wackiness undercut the weight and expectations I had from watching the initial trailer. The themes and weapons briefly invoke feelings of school mass killings, the nature of how teachers are always under-resourced and under attack from both parents and their coworkers and the school system. When I found out the big bad around the midpoint of the film, I immediately lost interest. The title in the film kind of gives away the big bad, but I was too bored to care after I realized this fact. I felt the director went to a scenic route in telling a tried and true story. A story that is fascinating on paper, but when transferred to film, was marginally more watchable than Osgood Perkins' 2024 film, Longlegs. If you have seen Prisoners, if you have seen Suspiria, if you've seen Pearl Jam's music video, Jeremy, or the films Crash or Rashomon, then those films tangentially have inspired Weapons. The hype and trailers for this movie were more fascinating than the finished product, in my opinion. I caught myself not falling asleep like I did in Longlegs, but instead looking at the time and wondering when the film was going to pick up the pace. It did in the final 20 minutes of the film. These were worth the wait, but I wish I felt that rush while watching the remaining hour and 38 minutes. I'm not really so confident to see what Zach does with the new Resident Evil, but his recent comments regarding Resident Evil have me a bit nervous.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I guess he's feeling himself, and that's fine, but I don't really have a lot of confidence now. If you like what I had to say, feel free to like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate it, and that's all I got. Cabs out.